Congratulations. You played the game all the way through, and we are where we are. My understanding is that what has happened is a very novel situation. I have not defaulted, and yet you have not proven your claim. We are in the situation that we're in. Apparently, I was required to do something that would be acknowledged as a default so that a certain leverage could accrue. Or I was supposed to do things in a particular manner that would provide what would be identified as a form of credit. Unfortunately, neither happened. But for the record, let me inform you everything that was necessary had already been prepared. Let's see this here. Very, very simple. It's a protective mechanism. Look at this. Look at this. All nice and printed out. All of the official communications that would have needed to have been made. Look at this. See? It's a color. It's color. Finally, it's old enough. It's of that age. All of the things that needed to be done. See, the special instruction says that there is a, what is this? What is this supposed to be? A copy specifically for the person of concern. Different individuals have an understanding of how to comport themselves, and how people should comport themselves in their arena. The problem is one of party discipline. Actually getting those that are on your credit to do what they're supposed to do. See, if they are sneaking around behind your back, trying to set up a bribe, saying, well, we're going to keep this off the record, and you know, and we know. But insofar as you might go through the process otherwise and pass to the next level, then we've got this ourselves. It will not be a part of what goes forward. And later, if we need something, we'll get back to you. And you'll understand that we helped you. And now you can help us, right? I mean, that's what it is. Like you're helping me right now with this accent. Where would you identify it from? Does it speak to you? Do you feel calmed? Is this a personality or a comportment that you would consider more appropriate for the proceeding? What am I? I am a poor woman, trying to keep from being thrown out on the street because somebody said that I was not performing my duties as a tenant. I, however, don't agree. I say there was a different kind of contract arrangement. And unfortunately, because they never provided me with any paperwork, all I can do is go on the paperwork they were by law required to enter into systems that then would make it available through publicly accessible databases. And the paperwork that is on file in these regards does not correlate with what they tried to say when they took me to what they said was a court, which means all of that other paperwork I have, it doesn't correlate with what they say. Well, to me, that becomes a cause for action. Only the action it's a cause for is not the one they keep trying to get me to perform, right? But I digress. Why did I not take this down? It's not just because I'm concerned that someone's trying to elicit a bribe, or that I'm concerned that as a form of trying to influence me to accept this bribe, they've also attempted to extort me. Apparently, there is a problem today. There have been people, refugees, trying to come to the United States, and they were in the midst of people that were supposed to have been identified as having measles. Oh my, you don't hear about measles very much over here. But you know where they're coming from. Several years ago, in 2017, around that area, there was a convention. An international consortium had a regional conference over there. The conference was specifically about immunizations. See, the country hosting the conference had an ambition They had hoped to get a member from their country elected to the national or to the executive board of the international body. My understanding is that person was highly qualified. Not only that, they had been working for quite a considerable amount of time to develop their own domestic immunization program, including with the anticipation and the hope that they would be able to provide 100% of their own immunobiological needs domestically. Vaccines, immunizations produced by people from their country for people from their country. In the event you have immigrants, maybe you have somebody from neighboring countries that comes in, well, you've done enough to communicate. That's why you have a regional conference, isn't it? But there was a problem. Does anybody remember what happened in October 2017? There was a terrorist attack. Right as they were having the conference, suicide bombers walked into a holy site and blew it up with all the people in it. It was during a time frame when there was supposed to have been a holiday commemorating somebody that was important to a faith tradition in that country. The thing about these sorts of immunizations, at least as they are administered domestically, is that it is possible to impact people's state of mind using manipulation of radio frequency in connection with the activation of elements of the original programming that can be remotely altered based upon whoever it is that has access to the information concerning the component materials of that immunization. You see, they've already been alerted to this here in the United States. What they chose to do instead was test it. As opposed to responding and appropriately applying necessary protective measures, they decided they were going to experiment. I contend these immunizations aren't actually necessary. What we're dealing with is aging technology. The stockpile is probably at or past the expiration date. Now they can make a justification for offloading the stockpile because there's a need. Well, there's a need. There's a refugee influx. There's a concern there might be a disease. We're going to preventatively inoculate them. That's not what you're doing. You're dumping your inventory just like you did 20 years ago. I didn't. That's why I didn't take the judge's copy in today. Now, was I aware exactly that that's what I was doing? No. What I was aware of is I'm not going to take a bribe, and I'm not going to concede to the extortion. I had everything I needed. You could also have had everything you needed if you actually fucking needed it, right? You don't need an MR. You don't need that right now. They don't need that right now. You needed to cover your ass, and you did not succeed.